Slaughter Daughter's a badass bitch. As you were.
I can't hear you, Kelly. I can't hear you. Technical difficulties. All right. Welcome to the Slaughtered Daughter Christmas show. I'm not Slaughtered Daughter. She will be back momentarily. Wow, we have been doing this for hours upon hours upon hours, and I feel like at the end of this, we have come even closer in our friendships. We've shared a lot, we've said a lot, we've experienced a lot, and we've got a lot of sound.
Can you hear me?
Hey!
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Slaughter Daughter House. I'm Kelly Slaughter Daughter Remus. Thank you for being here. Something keeps happening. It's been happening the whole Streamathon. I keep having to go out and come back in. It's fine until we go live. And then I can't hear you. You can't hear me.
Perform on the moment. Yeah.
But we're
Pressure
here now.
cooker.
And if you have stuck with us through this whole thing and you're now on hour 5.5, I appreciate it so much for you sticking with us.
It's nearly 4:30 in the morning.
Oh, Space Commander.
You'll be sleeping in tomorrow.
We love you.
And we thank you.
That you're here. Yes, thank you so much for being here. So, on the Slaughter Daughter House today, hey, Chad. Let's go through who's already in the chat. Ratface. Hey, Ratface.
Handsome man, Ratface 44.
Yo, Joe.
Hey, Wilhelm.
My name is Bill. You may remember me from such live stream chats as or the other one.
Will has an underrated sense of humor.
This is what I would do like top 5 live chats of all time.
Yeah, best comment ever. Does anyone want to have another go at pronouncing this name?
Pericles Dragon Ball Z.
Pericles Dragon Balls.
Dragon Ball Z.
Dragon Balls.
Has that person ever corrected us about how it's actually pronounced?
There's no space in the Dragon Ball and Z, so it's Dragon Balls.
Hey, Classified.
Good journey, Classified. Good journey.
Danjamin, you're still here. Hey, Retro Tinker.
What a
final hour. Yes. Awesome. Thank you guys so much. So we are talking about tonight our favorite Christmas movies.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And I had to change for this one because one of mine is the Griswold Family Christmas. Hey, W Vogs. Wavogs.
Wavog 18.
Wavog. Awesome. So, should I start with my Secret Santa gift?
Always start with the Secret Santa gift.
Okay, so I knew who this was from because it came from Japan.
Wow.
Thank you, Phil.
I thought that was.
I'm pleased it
Macho Man
reached
ran
you
his
on
habit for a
time.
second.
I probably should have cut this before I started. Okay. There we go. Let me just rip this sucker open.
Do it. Just
Tear
tear
up
into
with
it.
those guns of yours.
Shoots a Godzilla.
Okay. Oh, did you send something for my dad? That's so nice. Dear Sarge, Mary.
I had to. My
My
chance. It was my chance to send Sarge something, so I had to take that opportunity. Yep.
I love it. I I don't know when I'm going to see him next, but I will hold on to it and we will open it and maybe I'll do it on video and send you the video.
I would love if it was just a letter from like 1991. Like, how dare you, Sarge?
Really? Mania 7.
I love this bag. This is like the best wrapping ever because you just put everything in the bag and
Why
cinch
didn't
it
I
up.
think of that?
Christmas bags are very important to fill.
I love this and it looks like a tree. That's so awesome. Thank you so much. Okay.
You're welcome. You haven't seen what's inside it yet.
I know. I'm
Yeah.
thanking you. I don't even know. I just like the bag.
Thanks in advance. Just
There
in
is
case.
something inside, I promise you.
Yeah, this
It's
one
not-
has
it's not an
something.
empty bag.
It's not
Those cricket scars run deep.
That's why it's called triggered.
So there's a letter, and I don't know if I can read it without crying out loud.
Cry, 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 cry.
2, 1, go.
Okay. Hi, Kelly. Just want to say how much of an inspiration you are. Your strength.
Crying already. One sentence in.
Your strength and kick-ass spirit is something I see in my wife with her health battles. And you are both amazing women. Phil, you can cry. Times are tough sometimes, but it is such a joy and privilege getting to know you, and the chats you have with Zazel and your father puts the biggest smile on my face. Looking forward to you kicking Zazel's ass next year.
No.
Me too, Phil.
Oh, no.
Thank you very much. That is a very nice letter.
You're welcome.
All right, hold on.
Hey, Phil, maybe you can send Zazel that bag you got so he can put his ass in there after telling him.
Great idea.
I call dibs on
Oh,
streaming it
finally
live
putting
when
it-
she kicks his ass in person.
Oh, yeah. We will definitely be recording that. It's going to
No
be awesome.
evidence.
This is so cool and so Japanese. I love it.
Oh, nice. Is that G.I. Joe scaled food?
It is.
Old school O-ring style scaled food.
So it says eraser on here. So are they erasers?
Yeah.
Oh,
So cool.
erasers that are other things are the best kind of erasers.
Yeah, because you
That
don't
is
want to
so
use them as
cool.
erasers.
No.
Thank you.
Don't eat it. Don't eat it.
Don't eat them.
It looks so
Kit
good.
Kat. Candy.
You can
Orange
eat those.
Kit Kat.
Oh, yeah, they got like
Orange.
all the multi-flavored Kit Kats over there, eh?
Is this orange? Chocolate
What gave it
orange
away?
is my favorite.
Not the packaging's
Orange.
awful.
Yeah, like a Jeffer.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
That is
Yep.
my absolute favorite. My mom is coming over tomorrow, and we are
You
doing
better bring a horse.
cookies with the kids. What?
Bring a
She doesn't
horse.
bring a horse. She
You
doesn't get a
better
Kit
bring
Kat.
my freaking horse.
Yeah.
But we're making Christmas cookies with the kids, and I have orange jellies, orange candies that I'm gonna dip in chocolate, like I do that every year. So, and then I hope this isn't seaweed.
Green tea, isn't it?
It's
Green
wasabi.
tea.
Oh, green tea.
Wasabi.
Eat one now. Eat one now.
That is awesome.
Is it
Thank
wasabi?
you. Okay, let's see what else we have here.
Jesus, Phil, how many presents did you send?
Anything left in Japan
He's
for the
showing
kids?
you all up.
Yeah, I'll say.
I filled up that bag.
Ooh.
Oh, okay.
So what is this?
Ooh.
Umeboshi is like a sour plum, so that's a bit of an eating challenge for you. See how you go with it.
Oh, should I try one now?
Like a
Yes.
Spartan race for your
Do it.
mouth.
Go
Is it super sour? Is it going to make
Cheers.
your jaw hurt?
on.
He's gonna cry again.
Give it a
Yeah, making me cry. Okay.
Throw some hot sauce in there.
She's too tough for sour.
Yeah. She seems to really enjoy
They're
it.
not sour.
Wait
Nothing
for it.
Wait for it.
Biting through the paint.
3, 2. No, didn't kick in. All right.
They're good.
Must be when it comes out the other end.
Yeah.
No, right?
You updated.
If they taste good, that means they've turned and it's gone very, very bad. They're going to make you so sick.
Oh, great. That's wonderful. That's exactly what I need when I make cookies tomorrow. To be sick.
Cute.
Origami.
Oh,
that's
awesome.
Paper sushi.
English. Oh.
Can you eat it?
That is awesome.
Can you eat it?
Origami sushi is the most Japanese thing I've ever heard in my life.
Right.
That is awesome. I love this
I'd
so
like
much.
to see sushi origami.
Japanese thing I've ever heard is senpai yamete.
We live different lives, my friend. We live different lives.
Jeez.
God, I need to go and sleep.
We've lost him.
I'm sorry. Who was that?
I think that was Hans Chow having
It was Gaz.
It wasn't me.
I don't think we could get Gaz's voice that high pitched.
No.
Well, maybe if he squeezes his balls hard enough. But
Hey.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Go there, please.
I don't know what your Yuletide wishes are.
well, you can't see us on camera, so you don't know who's talking.
Bunny?
What is that? A bunny.
Does it go on here?
So, can I just explain a little bit? The bunny. So next year is the year of the rabbit. So I think the Chinese have the same. There's 12 animals. So each year. So for example, I was born in 1980. So I'm the year of the. I'm a monkey. So anyone that was born in
Me too,
1980.
Phil. We're monkeys.
Oh, you're a monkey. Yeah.
Oh, look how cute.
So
That looks great.
yeah, next year is the year of the rabbit. There you go.
That's so cool.
And it's a
Now-
bell.
Kelly, you can't leave
Yeah.
those in the same room at night or they'll multiply.
This is a wonderful gift and thank you so much. I had a
You're
bunny
welcome.
and his name was Snowball. And he lived
Uh-oh.
a really long time and he was huge. I think he was probably a Flemish giant, but my parents didn't know that when they bought him for me. And oh, my hair got caught. I don't know if you guys believe in like spirit animals and like having like an animal totem or whatever, but I had a reading done and one of the animals in my totem is a rabbit.
There you go.
So this is it's very awesome. You didn't even know.
So the next custom slotted on
you.
figure should be a visionary with a hologram bunny chest plate.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Bunny suit.
I
My
have
totem
this-
animal is a sloth, followed very closely by a hibernating bear.
I'm on the sloth running team.
Me too.
Yeah, for sure. I am I also have a rattlesnake is in my totem and a wolf and a ladybug. Those are the only
Okay.
ones I can remember. But anyway, I digress. Thank you. This is I cannot wait. My kids are gonna love this doing this origami. But I'm saving the candy for myself.
There's some candy you
Nice,
don't
nice.
waste on your kids, right? Like green tea Kit Kats. Like, don't waste that on a kid. They're not going to appreciate that. Just give them the regular Kit Kats.
Exactly. Thank you so much.
Did the bots finally
You're
find us
welcome.
on the stream after all these hours?
Found us
Yeah.
finally.
You've made it. You've arrived.
Hey, Magnificent Kaboom.
You guys don't like Magnum TA? We love Magnum TA. What's the TA stand for?
Total awesome.
Well, TA here in the States stands for something.
Tampa. Tampa.
Now I need to know.
Tampa, Florida. No.
Oh.
Wasn't it Terry Allen? Like, wasn't that his real name? Like Magnum TA?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought it was Tampa, Florida. I give it
Maybe
an
I don't like
educated
Magnum
guess.
PA as much as I thought I did if I don't even know his name. It's been decades, okay? It's been decades.
He had a great mustache. One of the greatest second greatest mustache in wrestling.
Who was first?
Tom Selleck.
Black
Yeah,
Jack
Good wrestling.
Mulligan.
Okay, fine. Sarge.
Except for when
Hogan's
Sarge came out
mustache was
rocking that
kinda creepy.
really
You're thinking
long
Hogan's
mustache. It
mustache
was
is
like
pretty
down to
gross.
here. That was weird. Sorry,
Yeah.
Kelly, but that was weird.
That's okay. Who had a mustache like that? My dad?
Yeah.
No.
I'll share you one. I'll share you a video where he's wrestling and he's got the long mustache that's coming down. Almost, I think it might even be coming down a little bit further than his chin.
No.
Or at least close. I'm gonna find it right now.
You find it and you throw it up here because I don't believe you.
Talking of Sarge, I was just thinking that miniature food you've got there, the G.I. Joe scale food.
Yes.
You could I don't know if it's going to be in there, maybe not, but you could recreate Sarge's first visit to Japan if it's got
All
miniature
right, yeah.
little monkey brains in it.
Little monkeys in there. This is
Monkey
sushi
brains.
too. There's roe in there.
Monkey
Fish
sushi.
eggs. This is awesome. Green tea. This is very cool. Thank you so much, Phil. I
No
love it.
worries.
I think next Christmas, because it's too late this year, but I'm gonna talk to the lady who made these Sarge cookies, and because she always like to challenge him, he's like, "Can you make some cricket bag themed Christmas cookies for me?" And then we'll send those to Phil in Japan.
Oh,
Ouch.
You can just
man.
I'll
Have
send
a
them
very,
back
very
to you, Adam.
Well, the good news
Return to-
and the bad news is that I found the video. He's versus Kurt Angle. Sergeant Slaughter versus Kurt Angle. He's got this mustache. I'll find the spot.
Oh yeah. So that was okay.
Sarge fought Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle
I
was a
was
child.
I was gonna say like that would have been like 1999 or something.
I'm sorry, I lost my knife. I'm just trying to get my knife back in here.
Yep,
That's
that's
not
Kurt,
a knife.
Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle looks like he's 5.
It does not go past his chin.
No, you're right. It doesn't.
It's pretty
That's
impressive.
Pretty close.
it's
Yeah.
pretty,
Pretty good.
it's pretty mustachy, that's for sure.
Yeah, there you go. 2000. So
See it? Thank you.
That's a,
Like,
that
take
was
control
a
of your screen.
crispy fireman carry, though.
That
what a
mustache.
smooth
like-
wrestler
always
Kurt
like
Angle was.
I've always liked Kurt. I've always liked Kurt Angle.
Oh yeah, nobody could chain wrestle like him.
High energy dude.
So
Yeah.
I stand corrected, Zazel. I'm not going to say I was wrong, but I was mistaken.
Okay.
Isn't that the
Never
same?
wrong.
Isn't that just semantic? Anyway, whatever.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
shave
yeah.
this off.
All right.
You gonna do it,
So
Hans?
Christmas
Christmas.
movies. So Zazel, do you have them in order of how I sent them to you?
Oh,
or-
I hope so. But it's unlikely.
I think I sent you mine first.
Okay, let me have a look.
Okay.
One moment, please.
Come on, Zazel. You only had like 5 hours. All right. Yep. So Christmas Vacation. I have a hard time picking just one. So I actually have 4.
Now I don't feel so bad for sending you 2.
Not 2 or 3, but 4.
5 more
And
hours to
then-
go.
So that's just a classic. We watch that every Christmas Eve. After the kids go to bed, we watch that.
Brilliant.
And then the next one, A Boy Called Christmas. So that is a new movie. I don't know if anyone has seen that.
No.
Nope.
Nope.
That kid is staring into my soul right now.
Does he have Elfie is?
So that movie, I got the book and I read it to my son last year at Christmas time, and then we watched the movie, and it's an excellent. Normally when you read the book and then you watch the movie, usually it's always, oh, the book is so much better. But in this case, I truly love the movie better than the book. I mean, I just love this. And so now our new tradition. Oh, okay. Have a good time. Find your love at 69 mega.
69? Nice.
69 mega.
Kelly has made
Twice
it now.
the
The
same
corn fan is in the chat.
I can't stop
It's
staring
real.
at that
It's a
dude's
real
wig.
kid.
Zazel, do you appreciate this stick there? That's a good-looking stick.
That is an actually pretty good looking stick. If I found a stick like that, I would have been set for weeks.
Stick appreciation.
That's what we call a Fortnite stick.
So that is a new tradition now. We watch this, and then the kids go to bed, and so Santa can come, and then the adults watch Christmas Vacation. It's a good movie. You guys need to watch it. It's on Netflix. And then A Christmas Story. I feel like that's quintessential. In the States, they run it for 24 hours.
Filmed in Kitchener, Ontario.
Is that the bad guy from Action Force?
No.
Now, has anybody seen the new one, A Christmas Story Christmas?
Yeah.
No,
Not yet.
Yes. It's really good, Kelly.
Yeah, I've been waiting
really
to
good
watch
movie.
it. Yeah.
Dude, that's
Do you
cool.
know
Check
that
the
there's
Night Stalker.
actually 6 sequels to this movie?
Yes, but I haven't seen any of them because I'm sure they're horrible. But A
They're all
Christmas
rough.
Story Christmas, I can't wait.
Yeah. The only one that's half decent is A Summer Story, and it's Macaulay Culkin's little brother playing Ralphie.
Oh, I didn't even know they did a summer story.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, Space Commander, I'll put you. That's definitely the same person. It's a Christmas special.
Wow, we Zeppelin.
I'll get you, Christmas.
That's hilarious.
You'll shoot your eye
For
out,
the
kid.
longest time, I thought that
Oh.
Santa was John Candy, but he's not John Candy.
That is definitely not John Candy.
Who,
No.
the Santa Claus?
But as a kid, I thought Santa was John Candy. I don't know why. Yep, you'll shoot your eye out. My parents got my son last year for Christmas a Red Ryder BB gun. I was like,
Nice.
he's gonna shoot his eye out. Are you crazy?
Haven't you
Come
seen
full
the
circle.
film, Dad?
Have you never seen the movie?
Can you do that, Dad?
And then Elf. I mean,
Yeah.
This movie,
it's just so funny.
it draws out so much hatred in me. This movie.
I love this movie.
Thank you.
It's something about Will Ferrell in spandex acting like an ass, which just blinds my gaze.
You don't say that.
This
Thank
is
you.
Will Ferrell at his best. Acting
Are
like
you
a kid.
kidding me?
I don't like watching
Best-
this movie.
And this
This
movie-
is my son, my older son's. I have to double check with my younger son, but it's definitely the Christmas movie that me and my older sons would watch quite a bit. I love this movie. Love it.
No.
So
I
good.
love
movie
Elf.
became a classic Christmas movie within the first year of its release. Like it was like an instant classic.
No, it's
Yeah.
not for me.
Testicles and a meat grinder kind of thing.
Thank you. Thank
Oh
you,
my
Hans.
God.
Thank you.
You guys
It's
don't know what you're talking
hilarious.
about.
Will
No.
Ferrell is so funny. I find this was not him, and it's
Yeah.
slapstick comedy, right? But he's actually a funny dude. And
When he yells, "You smell like beef and cheese."
Yeah. Yes.
Nothing better.
I love it. It's
It's-
hilarious.
We've
know
lost James
him.
Caan, sadly.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, James
James
Caan.
Caan.
He's one of my favorite actors, and we lost him a little
Yeah.
while ago. It's a shame.
Sonny,
Yeah.
Sonny Corleone.
Yeah,
Godfather.
Never see him.
Yeah,
And what's
he's
with
actually
these
good.
bots?
Yeah, they're bad.
That's
You
three
ban them?
times in the same, like, how many
that means
times
you've
you gotta-
made it. It means you're famous now, internet famous.
Real Christmas spirit.
Nice.
I was,
Yeah.
I was gutted when we lost James Caan because you guys remember the guy I worked with who painted up my customs for me and helped me with them.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
When we were working together, he and I sometimes, because it was kind of like a physical work, so your brain is just sitting there idling all day. So we used to like chat and make up crazy ideas for films and all kinds of weird stories. And we came up with this idea once for a movie where all throughout the film, it would be James Caan versus William Shatner, and they had roller skates on, kind of like rollerball, but without the armor and padding. And all throughout the film, they're chasing each other, and one would almost catch up with the other, and then he'd be chasing the other guy and almost catch up with him. And by the end of the film, Bill Shatner would be so frustrated, he would reach to the heavens and scream out, "Caan!"
I need to say, Space Commander, I saw that punchline coming from a mile away, and it was still perfect.
That's almost as good as his,
when James
His
Caan
Scone
died,
joke.
I talked to my friend. I was like, man, we can't do the film now. He's gone. You know. But
Yeah.
awesome actor, and Shatner
Animated.
too. Love them both.
Yeah.
Yes. Very good. I love Elf. So it's not Christmas until
That's
I watch the
polarizing.
movies. I don't like Polar Express either classified.
Makes me feel icky.
There's something about like the CGI or whatever. I feel like their faces don't look real to me, and they kind of creep me out a little.
It also feels like a random winter movie more than a Christmas movie. I don't know why I feel that way.
It's that uncanny valley where things look almost real but not, and then you don't trust them because they're androids and want to kill you.
Yes, exactly. I kept waiting for something to happen, and then Tom Hanks has so many different parts in that movie. So I was like, there's going to be like something where he's actually Santa, and and I was like,
Classified's calling CGI graphics. Is she from the same area as Space Commander up in space? It's all graphics.
Is The Guardians a Christmas movie?
The most recent?
Christmas adjacent.
It's considered a Christmas movie, The Guardians.
I don't know.
The Avengers style Christmas.
Yeah, the Avengers style movie where
I would suppose so, yeah.
Okay.
Well, good. Iron Man 3 is a Christmas movie, right?
Is it? Oh, I guess it is.
All right, let's move on to the next one.
Batman Returns.
All right, who is next? It should be Ryan. Nope,
Wrong.
that's Zazel.
It's me.
Explain yourself.
Todd's in the chat says Krampus and Trading Places, great Christmas movies. Something about eating beard meat makes a great Santa. Well, I gotta admit, there's often bits of food in my beard too. So, Merry Christmas, Todd.
Hey, Todd. Merry Christmas.
Todd.
I don't know about Krampus.
Krampus yesterday.
Been a while, Todd.
Trading
I
Places.
watched Krampus last night, and I don't know what in the Psycho Gingerbread Man was going on. Have you guys seen it?
I think I've seen it once, yeah.
I haven't seen it. I don't know, maybe a few years back, but I'm aware of it.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas, all.
Merry
Christmas.
Nazi.
So, Ghostbusters 2 was my pick. So, I mean, there's a lot of great Christmas movies, and I knew that a lot of these that haven't come up yet, but would come up. And I knew some of the choices that have already been chosen from Kelly were going to also come up too. But in all sincerity, the first movie that popped into my head for best Christmas movie was Ghostbusters 2. And there was something, when I was thinking about what's the best Christmas movie, the instant thought I had were the Ghostbusters running around in their new outfits with the big 2 on the side and wearing the Santa hats. I was like, oh yeah, Ghostbusters 2 is a Christmas movie. Now it starts off a little bit depressing. The people of New York have lost hope. They've lost, their camaraderie. They've lost all human decency at this point. It's like the city is sick, right? The slime is under the city, feeding off of this sickness. And it's up to the Ghostbusters and the Statue of Liberty to bring back that joy and love, not just for Christmas, not just for New Year's, but for all year round joy and good tidings to your fellow man. Plus Bill Murray.
By the way, Bill Murray.
And Bill Murray.
Then there's that wonderful line. He is Vigo. You are like the buzzing of flies to him.
Yeah. Oh, Vigo. And one of the best lines is, you had a slinky? Wait, you didn't even have a slinky? Because we had part of a slinky, but I straightened it.
Who has part of a slinky?
Now, Zay, do you have any Ghostbusters figures in your collection?
No, I do not.
Oh,
okay. We grew up with Ghostbusters action figures as a kid, but I don't have any of those remaining in my collection now. But I was always a Egon or a Winston boy. Yeah. Either of those two were my go-to for Ghostbusters 2.
The first thing I designed when I got my printer was a slime pack for Kenner's Ghostbusters.
Oh, nice.
So I could have Ghostbusters. That's
so good. So I think another thing that also is great about this movie is that there's obviously that love still there between Bill Murray and Sigourney Weaver. And at this point, she's got a ready-made family, right? She's got a baby named Oscar, and while Bill Murray is trying to rekindle this sort of love that he has for Sigourney Weaver's character, but there is no Dana. There's only Zool. Thankfully, Zool was gone and Dana returned. But I love that the baby was never an issue in this relationship. He was in love. He wanted to try and get back, or his sort of love. You know what I mean? It's Bill Murray. But he was like, she's got a baby now. That's fine. And he tries to sort of connect weirdly with the baby, just trying to, make the whole thing sort of work in a Bill Murray kind of way, in a Peter Venkman kind of way. I liked that. Good, wholesome fun.
You're right, senor.
When you're right, you're right. All right. Moving on.
All right.
Don't try and guess who's next because you might be wrong.
I'm not
Okay.
going to. Just throw up the movie. Rudolph. So
That's Space Commando.
Rudolph.
No.
Is it?
Is it?
Was this one? This should have been mine. I picked
Well,
the
hang
Rankin
on.
Bass.
Oh, okay. So this
So
is
is it?
this is
Who
Ryan.
had these ones? Ryan?
Both of them.
Okay, Ryan.
Yep. So any of the Rankin Bass are classics for me as a kid for Christmas. It's that claymation type of anime they had. They had great voice actors. I think it was Burl Ives played the snowman / narrator. But these are just classic Christmas, the movies you'd watch as a kid growing up on, ABC or NBC. Plus, with Rudolph, Gaz has it perfect. It's Bumble. It's the Island of Misfit Toys. Part of the reason why
The Abominable
I
Snowman.
named the channel what we did is because of Rudolph and Santa Claus, of course, as well too. Another great movie.
Is
But
Santa Claus is
My
coming to
all-time
town?
favorite.
Is that the one that
Go
has
ahead. Sorry.
is Santa Claus is coming to town the one that has Baby New Year in it?
No, I think
Yes.
that's Rudolph Saves. Is it? I thought
Isn't
that was.
the Heat
No,
Miser?
Thought that one was like Rudolph
It's
Saves New Year.
Santa,
Is it?
Santa too. And
Was
then
this part of
a
yours,
Charlie
Ryan?
Brown Christmas where you get yep, where you get to watch Snoopy eat human femur bones, but still a great, great Christmas movie.
Come again.
What?
Actually, that's not human femur bone. It's just that Charlie Brown's a great squatcher, and he was able to have squatch bones. to,
Squatching. He's been
So-
squatching.
So did you actually pick this one, Ryan?
Yeah.
I did. I had the three
Okay.
of them.
Okay. Because I know which one I picked, and it looks a lot
I don't
like this.
There are some double ups.
Well,
Okay,
hey,
okay.
There are some doubles.
Ken, great taste.
There we go. There we go.
I love the Charlie Brown soundtrack. The Vince, what's his name? The piano, Vince Garibaldi, I think his name is.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
No, it's
Yep.
classic.
Yeah.
For this one, was it? Is that what we're talking about?
I thought it was Linus.
Well,
No,
Linus plays
shorter.
in the show, but it's Vincent Garibaldi is the actual musician, the pianist.
What's that, Matthew?
That's the album.
Yeah,
Oh, nice.
cool.
Garibaldi.
Oh,
Yep.
that's cool.
hmm See, I know what I'm talking about.
My first,
Yeah,
my first
you know what
vinyl
you know.
album. My first vinyl album was Ghostbusters 2.
Oh,
Ah,
Oh,
amazing.
I had loads of rock and metal cassettes, but the first actual vinyl I bought was Ghostbusters 2. And my first single was Megadeth.
nice. I'm not sure about that, Hans Chow. That's something Classified can jump into and check,
100%,
fact check.
100% Rankin Bass was Thundercats. 100%.
Oh, there you go. See?
thunder, thunder, thunder. Oh.
All right, Little House on the Prairie. That's Space Commando.
That is go figure right here. So, as parents, we try and manufacture some traditions, and you want to create things. But the best traditions that we have, the ones that I think really hit us in the heart, are ones that just happen. And so, my mom grew up watching Little House on the Prairie in its like original run, and it was like her favorite show. So I would just watch it while she was rewatching it as a kid, and it was just always on. And the Little House on the Prairie Christmas at Plum Creek was this thing that just happened every year that I didn't realize was like happening. And then by the time I was like a teenager, I realized that like it wasn't Christmas until we watched Little House on the Prairie Christmas at Plum Creek. And you know, when someone asks, especially in our subculture group, you know, what's the best Christmas movie? You know, we go Die Hard, we go Batman Returns, like we go all the coolest Christmas movies or Elf, whatnot. But to me, Little House on the Prairie, it's not Christmas till I watch this. And then it's like, that gets me right into the Christmas season. It's nostalgic. It reminds me of my mom. It's just like, it's wholesome TV that I don't think would fly today. Like this would not air on television today. And
my mom loved Little House on the Prairie.
Yeah. And so my kids, a couple years ago, I was like, we need to watch Little House on the Prairie Christmas at Plum Creek. And I thought my daughter would love it. And so they tolerated it with me. But since then, they've been buying me the seasons of Little House on the Prairie on DVD for Christmas each year.
Oh, nice.
And I'll tell you this, show holds up. That's a dynamite show right there. You can't go wrong with a little Paul Ingalls in your life.
I'm trying to remember the main guy's name. He was in Bonanza. Yes.
Michael Landon.
My favorite.
I think it's Michael Landon, guys.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, Michael Landon.
Is it Michael Landon?
My
Is it Michael Landon?
Michael Landon.
My favorite story with Little House on the Prairie production was a lot of the sets were built on top of sets used in The Wizard of Oz.
Huh.
And during production one time, some of the kid actors found the yellow brick road under the set. And they were so traumatized, they all were like crying. They're like, we were on the we found it. They killed the yellow brick road.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Oh, it would have been great to find one of those bricks.
Yeah. Yep. Imagine if you had one of those now.
Lead paint and everything.
Yeah.
Oh.
Delicious but deadly.
Yummy. Oh, I know.
Flash Gordon.
No, that is.
What's
Yeah, I was gonna.
one?
Oh, really?
It's not me. Although I would watch this on Christmas as well.
I was gonna say it's got Gaz written all over it.
No, that's got to be Space Commander.
That is.
Yeah. I picked a couple. Yeah.
Sorry.
Say again?
I was going to say there's another one, Zazel, if you want to throw that one up too. Yep.
Yeah.
That's also
We
a
can only do
Christmas
one at
movie.
a time.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm not
so
magic.
Flash Gordon. I love Flash Gordon. Ever since I was a little kid, I watched the Filmation series that came out in the late 70s, and I used to get up really early in the morning and watch the black and white serials starring Buster Crabbe.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, other kids would write it off and say black and white, and I forget it. But I loved that show. I would get up especially early just to watch it. And the Flash Gordon movie with Sam Jones, although it's not set at Christmas, it was released at Christmas time at the cinema. And I don't know if that's the reason why, but it's kind of become a tradition in the UK that they show it on TV every Christmas. So I don't know if it's because it came out at Christmas or if it's because Brian Blessed looks like a Christmas turkey all throughout. But
Was the original Flash Gordon done by Raskin Bass?
yeah, it starred Michael Landon.
Yeah, I thought it did. Michael Landon.
I'd watch Michael Landon as Flash Gordon any day of the week.
I got to see this guy last month at a convention here.
Sam Jones.
Sam Jones.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah, he still looks like he could kick my ass.
Oh yeah, he's still going. I managed to track down a few films because a lot of his films weren't released in the UK, so I had to get them imported from the States and sent up to the space station. So I picked up a few more of his films over the years.
Didn't he play the Spirit on a TV movie?
Yeah, he did. Yeah. In fact, I was watching it just 2 nights ago.
Oh, fantastic!
Wait. He played the Spirit.
The Spirit. Yeah.
Like the Thai.
Yeah, the pulp comic hero with the Spirit. Yeah.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
I gotta find that. I tracked that down. He popped up in an episode of Stargate SG-1.
Yeah,
playing the
He's a
bounty
bounty
hunter.
hunter, and
Yeah.
I was like, "Holy shit! It's Flash Gordon."
And of course Ted.
Yes.
When we first got a satellite dish in 2000, so we lived out in the country because of all the horses, and
Careful, that's a sore point for Kelly.
I know. I'm trying to go back.
Tread carefully.
Not just because of the horse, because of the horses.
So many horses. Too many horses. And one donkey. But so we went from having two fuzzy channels to like we had all the channels in the world. And because I was like a big movie guy, I would just like tape everything I could on VHS. So and you go through the guide and and I remember watching Flash Gordon once on TBS as a kid and being blown away by it. And I had like memories of being fantastic. So then on the satellite dish, like upcoming, it said, Flash Gordon. So I was like, oh, I'm going to tape that. So I taped it and I put it onto tape and I went to bed. And I woke up the next morning and I was like, Mom, we're going to watch Flash Gordon because let's like with Huston Perry. I love watching movies with my mom. And so there was an error in the TV guide and I taped Flash Gordon. Started, I was like, this looks like the movie I remember as a kid. Like it looks like this harmless pulp romp. And then quickly my mom was like, we gotta turn this off. So I don't think this is what you think it is.
I'll see if I can find that trailer. Hang on, let me play it.
Wait. I got something for you. Check it out.
What's he got?
Hang on.
I thought he was gonna say you had Flash Gordon on DVD.
Flash Gordon, yeah.
And classified. This is for you. Well, not really.
Look at that. That's a sweet lunchbox.
Yeah, I got this Hero Hacks special.
Waiting for Classified to jump in and say,
"Give me that
claim."
Give me all your lunch boxes.
Don't worry about the lunch.
I got a little something here, Zazel, if you want to.
Oh yes, sorry.
One
moment, please. Where are you? Where's my buddy?
I'm up in space.
Yeah, you're above me.
Oh, look at this.
So,
that's cool.
It's the Flash Gordon comic of the movie. I've got lots of Flash Gordon comics from. Well, I mean, he's been going since the 1930s, so I've got plenty of comics from him from different eras.
That's so sweet.
But what's particularly special about this one?
WWE sticker on it.
No, it's around here.
Oh,
Brian Blessed signed it for me.
Wow.
Now you may say, why didn't you get him to sign issue 1? Well, he's not on the cover for issue 1. He's on the cover for issue 3.
Truly are blessed.
Yeah.
So I showed it to him, and he signed it for me.
Amazing actor.
He's a really great guy. Swears a lot, but he's a really great guy.
That's amazing.
And then we have Batman Returns.
Yeah.
Because to me, nothing really says Christmas like electrocuting Second Fire 2 and exploding some clowns. When this film came out in the summer, but it's set at Christmas, so this is kind of like the opposite to Flash Gordon. Came out in summer, but it's a Christmas movie to me. Even though it doesn't feature my number one homeboy, it still isn't
Boy
Christmas
Wonder
until Batman Returns is seen. When the film first came out, at first I wasn't too keen on it because I saw the Penguin, and to me the Penguin is a gangster. He's wearing a zoot suit. He's not like some kind of weird mutant. So at the time I was kind of like, what the heck is this? They've ruined it.
They've ruined
it. But then when I actually saw the film, I enjoyed it. And years later, I saw an interview with Tim Burton, the director, and he kind of explained where the idea for the film came from. When he made the first one, he wasn't thinking ahead of a sequel. He wasn't planning on doing anything beyond that first one. And because the first one had been so successful, Warner Brothers were desperate to get him back. And at first he wasn't interested. So they basically said to him, look, you can do whatever you want for the second movie. You can make it. Don't think of it as being a Batman film with Batman characters. Think of it as being a Tim Burton movie. How would you interpret these characters?
Oh,
and so he liked the theme of the animal theme. You got the bat totem for Batman, Catwoman, of course. And so for Penguin, he came up with this idea of what if he was more penguin than man? And so you kind of get the understanding this is where the character came from in the Tim Burton world.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And so taking that on board, I can totally buy into this character now. And in the Tim Burton world of Batman, this is the Penguin. And so I really enjoy this film now. Like I say, it's not and Christopher Walken as Max Schreck. What an incredible villain. A new character created just for this film. He wasn't from the comics or anything prior. They created him just for this film. and the whole thing, it just gels together to make a fantastic Christmas film. And the thing is, this film now, as well as Flash Gordon, nowadays before these films come on, they give you a sensitivity warning.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, you have to, if you need a sensitivity warning to watch Flash Gordon, then you need to grow a pair. And I'm sure.
In reference to what, though? In reference to what do they need that for, Space Commander?
Well, who knows? Who knows? But,
So they don't specify exactly. Oh, yeah, that is weird.
Yeah, I mean, Kelly, bless her, she doesn't have a pair, and I bet she's fine with Flash Gordon and Batman Returns.
Totally fine.
There you go. So what the heck is the problem? Oh no, you might offend someone. Forget about it.
Forget about it.
I also want to say Batman Returns was the peak of Batman figures. There's never been a better Batman figure line than the Batman Returns line. It's the perfect. It's the perfect figure line. Look at that. It looks just like Michael Keaton.
There's that guy.
Right? It's amazing.
That's the beginning of getting 100 different Batmans, though.
It was the beginning of getting 100 from Batmans, but you could get this one. You could get any one and get rid of all this nonsense.
Yeah.
And then just play with this Batman until your heart's content. And it looked just like it was just like a superpowers figure met Michael Keaton. It was perfect. Perfect.
Yeah.
So I'm sure you guys know this, but did you know that Sean Young, the actress, wanted the part of Catwoman so bad, and she stalked Tim Burton and tried to convince him to give her the role, and he gave it to Michelle Pfeiffer, but I think he had to get like a restraining order.
Wow.
And Sean Young was supposed to play Vicky Vale.
Vicky Vale, yeah.
And then got sick and had to get Kim Basinger at the last minute. So then she's like, well, I'll come back and do Catwoman. And he's like, no, I don't want you for Catwoman.
Well, the real the horribly ironic thing about that is Sean Young was shooting a scene for the first Batman as Vicky Vale on horseback, and she fell off the horse. Damn those horses! She fell off the horse. That was why she couldn't make the rest of the film, and then that scene was cut.
Oh,
so it's like the most galling thing.
For that.
If that scene, if they had not had that scene to begin with, knowing as you do now that they didn't even use that scene,
right?
Then she wouldn't have been injured, and she would have been in the movie.
Well, I wonder if they even bothered filming that scene with Kim Basinger after that accident. I wouldn't risk it.
Once bitten, twice shy.
Was like, no, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
All right.
That's a hell of a picture.
This is only one picture, so whoever had this only had one, and this is it.
I triple dog dare you.
I have it somewhere. Hold on. So this was Matthew. Comstock.
Yeah, I mean, what else can I say about this that hasn't already been said? I mean, all of us had a flick in our life, right? Anna Swartz.
Yeah.
And goofy relatives.
Hey, Matt, I triple dog dare you to say something more.
And then we also had eccentric relatives that thought we were the opposite sex. I had one that like sent me a My Little Pony one time. I guess I should have brought that up on the other stream. That was like a disappointment.
Yeah.
And I probably feel good about it because I was probably like 8 or 9 when it happened. But anyway, it came with the gift receipt, so I got something I wanted. But
there you go.
I don't know that kids get to experience Christmas like in this movie or like we did in the 80s.
No.
So it's like a time capsule. And it's just one that I keep. It's always when Christmas time rolls around, it's always the first movie I watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need to revisit. I haven't seen this one since I was a kid. And whenever they played it on TV for the ad, it would always be this scene of the kid sticking his tongue on the what is it, a telephone pole or something?
Light pole.
Yeah.
Light pole.
Yeah.
Right.
Light pole.
Flag, whatever pole. When he's stick, this is a word of warning, guys. Don't put your tongue on poles, okay? It's not
We're gonna specify which poles.
North
pole, south pole.
Any of them can. Any of them.
Any of them. Okay. All right.
But they would always show this particular scene, And so being a dumb kid, I think to myself, and we never had snow here anyway, but being a dumb kid, I think to myself, I wonder if it would really stick. And so I sort of tried to psych myself into just giving it a go. It was never that cold that it would here, but I always thought, oh, maybe I would, maybe I'll do it, maybe I'll do it. But I was never smart enough or dumb enough to give it a crack, mainly because I scared myself out of it. For a minute there, Nolan, I thought this was another one of those sex bots.
Oh, because of all the emojis.
Yeah. I thought, oh, they're back again.
So
Oh yeah, that's one we used to. This we definitely did. Putting your tongue on a battery.
Oh yeah, on the 9-volt batteries.
Yeah.
I've never tried that. What happens?
Get a battery, Ken.
Give it a go. Give it a go. Try it.
Do you triple dog dare me?
Yes.
Right
Do it now.
You
Do it on air.
live.
Grab a battery.
You got to do it live.
Do it.
No.
Do it. Do it.
Do it.
Come on.
Don't involve the Muppet. Just get the battery.
What the hell's the matter with you? They keep saying do it.
Just take it out of your smoke detector. It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't have that.
I'll go get it.
the
You will
rainbow.
not. You stay right there.
It's the rainbow.
Knowing the irony of it, he would take it out of his smoke detector. Do it. Not fry himself
Do it.
unconscious.
There's a smoke
and catch
detector.
fire.
There's a smoke detector right there. So.
Do
Don't
it.
do it.
Well, the
now.
COD says so.
Negative.
Yeah.
Do it.
So my son, when he first watched this movie, he was maybe 3 or 4 years old, and that scene where he sticks his tongue on the pole was his favorite scene. And I would have to rewind it, and he'd watch it, watch it. Well, then he started sticking his tongue on poles, and I'm like, stop! Like it grossed me out so much, and I'm like, please, just stop! Like, eat like lights, like light pole,
Train.
any kind
in the
of
middle of the train.
pole. Yeah, any.
Do you know how many dogs favour that pole, son?
They could like flail his arms, like
And you've got some support not to do it.
Yeah, that's why I turned the camera off. I was gonna go grab it, then Pericles talked some sense into me. So
You're missing out, mate.
Pericles out of the chat.
Yeah. The voice of
Banned from the
reason.
chat. Banned from the chat.
Who's this?
that is Phil.
What a
Philip
view.
Phil.
Is it?
Yeah, well, you said you were gonna pick it, but you picked something else instead, and I was like, well, then I'm gonna throw it in there.
These are the two
Okay.
options.
Well, I'll stick with Home Alone. I was tossing up between Gremlins and Home Alone, but I'll go with
Gremlins
the cliche
alone.
of Home Alone. I think is the number one. I think Home Alone was the first movie that I went to the cinema without my parents. I think it was released in 1990, so I would have been 10 at the time. So I just have a memory of going to the cinema with my friends and seeing this on the big screen and watching Macaulay kicking Joe Pesci's ass was good fun. And it's still a movie. I've watched it a couple of times with my daughter. She loves it as well. So it's growing on me in that regard. So yeah,
took me
it's
a
just
while.
a fun movie.
Yes,
It took me a while to go and see this movie, Phil, because people kept asking me if I wanted to go see Home Alone. I'm like, why would I want to go and see a movie about a guy named Home Alone?
we showed this to my kids, I don't know, probably 9-10 years ago, and we had to sit my son down and be like, okay, you're gonna watch a movie, you're gonna laugh so hard, you are not allowed to do anything you see in the movie.
Yeah.
You just go and do. You just like, well, I saw that, I'm gonna go do it, and you would just like go. So we're like, we had to like have a very heart-to-heart talk with our 5-year-old. You are not allowed to make booby traps in the house.
Nope.
You can make them outside, just not in.
Yeah.
This is so Home Alone is my son's favorite Christmas movie. Now Gremlins. So Gremlins came out in 84.
84.
Oh, really?
84. And I was 5 years old. And my mom, if she needed like a baby needed to go do something and she needed to keep me busy, she would put me on her bed and she would put a movie in and I would watch the movie. So she rented Gremlins because of the cover with Gizmo. She thought it was a cute little funny little kids movie.
Oh no.
Left me alone on the bed in her room and like left and did whatever she was doing. And I had to sit there and watch Gremlins, which totally scared the crap out of me.
Yeah.
Made me scared of the dark. And so at night I would wake up and have to go to the bathroom. And so I would do like a running leap from my bed. So I would land where the light was instead of the shadow. Because
Wow.
Gremlins don't like bright light.
Yeah.
Yeah. So thanks, Mom. No
this looks
horse.
like
Make
this
me
looks
watch
like
Gremlins.
the Gremlins 2 Gizmo, because Gizmo and Gremlins 1 wasn't this cute.
The thing about Gremlins, though, is you watch the movie and you're like, this is a fun Christmas movie.
Yeah.
And then right in the middle, the female lead tells a story about how her dad died in the chimney dressed as Santa Claus.
She
And it
hated
has
Christmas.
no effect on the rest of the
Right.
movie.
Yes, that is
It's
such
just
a
this
weird scene.
monologue, and then they continue on with their day. I'm like, why does that scene exist?
That's some heavy stuff right there, though.
I think they poked fun at that in the second one, didn't they?
Yeah. But she's like, we found him 3 days later, stuck in the chimney.
It's just another way to terrify you.
What a classic Christmas movie.
Yes.
Who was this?
You.
Me? What?
Yes, you have the memory of a goldfish.
I just talked to Kelly and we talked about Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. All right, I'll go with this. This is
You
perfect.
said Rudolph and Die Hard, and then another one you said.
All right, so Die Hard, I think is a good Christmas movie. I mean, I think it brings the family together. You know, the love for man and his wife. You know, they're going through some hard times. He's on the East Coast. He's on the West Coast. He comes out and bank robbers come in and ruin the whole thing. And he lost his shoes, so he needs some shoes.
Can I make a confession?
I wasn't expecting that. Oh, Lethal Weapon.
Oh,
as well.
now
Yeah.
that is a Christmas movie.
Yeah, hell yeah. Yeah, it starts off with Jingle Bell Rock and ends with a
That's-
fight on a dude's lawn at Christmas Eve, I think it is. Right?
When people argue about whether like these action movies are Christmas movies or not, the deciding factor is the soundtrack. If the soundtrack has
Right.
Christmas songs in it, it's a Christmas movie.
Yeah, but I mean,
Perfect.
come on. Like for Lethal Weapon, I mean, Mel Gibson's character is lost. His
Yeah.
wife died. He's lost. He's down, and he's introduced to Danny Glover and his family, and he becomes like part of them. So it's like bringing, it's like a
Mel
new member of the
Gibson's best
family. It's
acting.
such a powerful, like family-oriented movie, I think, with a little gun-toting action, which is okay.
But like First Blood is set at Christmas time, but there's no Christmas songs in the soundtrack, so it's not
Damn
a
right.
Christmas movie.
Yeah.
Who made that rule though that it had to be that the soundtrack was, or is that just an atomism that was?
I made that rule
determined?
right now.
Like,
Yeah.
okay, so
I love that rule. I love that rule. And yeah, I would
it's actually not a bad rule.
I would, and to Dragon Ball's comment, I would have picked Megaforce, but I watch that movie all the time, so it's not really Christmas. Christmas
It
isn't
still
it?
counts.
It's
Well,
still
Every
Christmas,
day is
but-
Christmas with Megaforce.
They don't have posters. They don't have movie posters like this anymore because the tagline is 2 cops. Glover carries a weapon. Gibson is one.
The weapon.
He's the only LA cop registered as a lethal weapon.
Oh,
Great tagline.
And then the second one should be 2 cops. Gibson is a weapon, and also now so is Danny Glover because he's a lethal weapon too.
And
all
Joe
right,
Pesci's there as well.
the opening to the second one is hilarious.
Yes.
It's hilarious.
We also have this one, guys.
Yes,
What a
yes,
shift.
Rudolph is like one of those movies that I've always watched in my entire life. It's always been on. Every time it's been on, I watch it. And I don't really feel like it's Christmas without it. So that's
Yes,
a
it's
Christmas movie that everybody needs to watch and enjoy. And it's fun and it's happy and it makes you feel good and warm. And then you can go watch Lethal Weapon.
Can I address that comment that was just up there where it says the mullet is epic or whatever?
Bullet is the weapon.
Yeah, if you bring up that picture of Mel Gibson again, his hair is not a mullet; it's a helmet. It's a whole
Yeah.
in there.
Yeah,
The
you're right,
picture's
you're
gone.
right.
I'll bring it up later.
Yeah, but it's
I'm
not a
up
show
there.
on
Frankie
that.
Valley helmet.
It's a situation all unto itself. Is that Mel Gibson hairdo? It's almost a cowl.
So I have a confession. I've never seen Die Hard or Lethal Weapon.
What?
What?
Never.
I think we should have
Goodbye.
I think we should have a watch along and watch the
We might have to do a watch along.
You know what the best thing about Lethal Weapon is?
What's that?
Is the Eric Clapton soundtrack, where like
Yeah.
Mel Gibson will look at Danny Glover, and then you hear like, there's like this riff, and then they go get a hot dog.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
Well, speaking of watching and doing a watch along, what are y'all doing in a half an hour?
We're all sneaking.
Space Commander's going to sleep.
God, I hope I'm asleep in half an hour.
All right, who do we have here?
All right, so this is me, a Black Mirror White Christmas, and a Charlie Brown Christmas. Now, here's the thing: is there a more wholesome Christmas movie out there than the 30-minute special of A Charlie Brown Christmas? I mean, it just
Little House on the Prairie.
okay.
Yeah, you can't
fine.
beat that for
Die
wholesome.
Hard.
Fine. Okay, so there is that. So maybe it wasn't as rhetorical a question as I thought.
Muppet Christmas Carol.
Oh yeah. So Ralph is.
Wait,
That's
no,
why Ralph's
look at
pissed
that.
off. He walked away. He's like, "Why did you choose Snoopy over me?" And I'm like, "Well, I didn't." Okay, maybe I did. So I don't know. It's just Charlie Brown is just the perpetual, forever underdog. Like they send him to pick this Christmas tree. It's kind of a loser, nothing tree. They do this little weird thing at the end, and suddenly it's a gorgeous Christmas tree. And I don't know. You get the monologue from Linus. You get the songs at the beginning. You know, you get participation from everyone in that cast. It's just such a rewatchable, wholesome underdog story that it was made in 1965, and it's as good now as it was back then. I don't know. Just what else can we say about it?
It is a classic. I will. Yeah.
Right? And I don't know what it is, but like the Snoopy that you see that's animated is, I swear, it's like half the size or half the width of the one that's on my shoulder right now. That's why I try to call this one like Thanksgiving Snoopy, because he's like stuffed with turkey, and it's just like I don't know what it is. It's like I don't know. It's like just like what is it like?
Dad bod Snoopy.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, but that's okay. I mean, you know, so I get a fluffy, slightly deformed like Funko style Snoopy. Sorry, I shouldn't say Funko. Maybe I should plug his ears as I compare him to a Funko Pop. But you know,
That is gastrointestinal malfunction, Snoopy. That is.
That's
Okay.
a colostomy bag Snoopy right there.
okay,
Hernia.
off the duff. As for this one,
Wilhelm
he say?
Toys pointed out a good one. I don't know if you guys remember Emmett Otter and the Jug Band Christmas.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I do. I do remember
No.
that.
River Bottom Nightmare. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen it.
So Black Mirror is one of those series that I always tell everyone to watch on Netflix. The problem with it, I don't know how many of you have seen it, but I can't really describe what kind of a series it is. It's like one of these, like it's a technological thriller that basically shows like all the problems with the world because of the advancement of technology. So I don't know how many of you have actually seen Black Mirror White Christmas. It's really anything but a Christmas movie, but it's set at Christmas time and it's titled White Christmas. So maybe because John Hamm is so brilliant in it, and to me just carries the film. Like this is like when technology is like amped up to 11, dial broken, keeps going. So like when you block someone, it's not like just blocking them on social media. Like if by blocking someone, like you're in the room with somebody, and this is a scene that actually happens in Black Mirror White Christmas, where you're sitting there next to the person and you're mad at them. You pull out a dial, and like there you go. It's basically Twilight Zone on crack, right? You press a button and then they become like static fuzz in front of you, and you can't hear them, you can't interact with them. They're just there as like this like fuzz shadow, and it's like I'm like, oh my god, that's how you have a falling out with somebody in the whole Black Mirror universe. This one taking place at Christmas. I guess what it is the whole film centers around John Hamm trying to eke a confession from the guy on the left, whose name in the movie is Joe. I can't remember the actor's name.
Rafe Spall.
There we go. There we go. So
Spacey.
I don't know how many of you have seen this, but it's a really hard movie to describe, and I didn't have to stop to think about how I was going to curate this live on air. But basically, the whole movie is they're in this like make-believe world where they basically like taken something from the guy's brain, put him in this make-believe world where they can get a confession out of them, and he thinks the world is real. And if they crack the confession from there, John Hamm is like absolved for previous crimes. That's kind of what the movie is centered around.
Classic Christmas tale.
Yeah. So anything but a Christmas tale set at Christmas time with the White Christmas title on it. And one of the supporting characters there is the lady in the middle, Una Chaplin, who plays Talisa in Game of Thrones, or Robb Stark's wife in the second and third season there. It's just one of those things that if I had to recommend you to watch it and I just didn't give a description, that's what I would go with, because it's a really hard thing to describe what Black Mirror actually is and what it entails. I was kind of hoping somebody in the chat would bail me out, but I have a feeling I'm like the only person in the universe who's seen this.
Well, I've seen it.
I have not.
You've seen it, Adam?
Yeah.
And that's it.
I would not call it my favorite Christmas movie, but it's if you like the Twilight Zone or Outer Limits and that kind of stuff, it's a cool little watch.
So a lot of the Black Mirror, I've seen the Black Mirror series, but a lot of it is like a one and done watch for me. Like I'll watch it and I'll go, okay, that was interesting, and then I'll move on and never go back to it again.
Yeah, but sometimes they'll revive an old song, like that one show, that one episode that had "Heaven Is a Place on Earth" play multiple times. That song just got stuck in my head for months after I watched that episode. Yeah, what was that one called again? San Junipero, where they end up in like that heavenly place, like your body's comatose, but they've transported your mind into San Junipero. So you're basically like living in this, like you're living in an idealized world as an idealized version of yourself, right? So my San Junipero would be Ken in a toy store, probably.
But they're only really good on one watch though, because afterwards you already know where it's going to go, and the mystique's gone out of it.
No,
I to go back.
I could watch those two episodes again and again, San Junipero and White Christmas. In fact, I'll probably watch it when we're done on air here. I should probably watch something a little happier.
Out for sure.
Here we go.
How the
What do we got here?
Stole Christmas. Who is this one?
Who was this? Who's left?
Hans.
Hans
It's mine.
Hans Chow.
I love a good redemption story, and the Grinch hated Christmas just because his heart was small, and he learned a valuable lesson, and there's a good moral to it. And the remake with Jim Carrey wasn't as good as the original one, just simply because they gave him like a backstory that made him a reason to be mean. But this one, he was just mean, which I think that's a lot of people. They're just mean, and then he just changed of his own volition, not because he actually had any good in him. And I will quote Skyrim, I suppose, when I say, which is better, to be born good or to become good through one's struggles. And the soundtrack was also amazing because, you're a mean one, Mr. Grinch.
Brilliant. And Boris Karloff just kills it.
It's wonderful. It's a fantastic story. And it's also not too long. And I have the book, and my children love the book. And they love the movie because it's nice and short, and, Daddy's happy for a few moments, and then they can go back to whatever.
Now, I've loved this since I was a kid, and I've loved this image since I was a kid. But I just realized right now that the lower part of the Grinch's exposed body also looks just like a Christmas turkey.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, it does.
Green eggs and ham. That's where it comes from.
Like if you flip it over, he looks delicious.
Put that on a t-shirt.
The other movie that we watch every year is A Muppet Family Christmas as well. We do love the Muppets quite a bit. There's the Muppet.
Your other option was this one.
Yeah, my other option was Home Alone for the same reason as I suspect everybody else. I don't know, man. It's just such a funny movie. I remember this is the first time watching a movie as a child, I think, where I laughed so hard that it hurt, and it hurt for the whole movie. And I don't know, man. I like that. It was great. Even part 2, I enjoyed as well.
Part 2 is great.
Yeah, it is a fantastic movie. Macaulay Culkin killed it. It was a good, simple story, and it was just the idea of a child who was able to kind of take things into his own hands and do something and change the outcome of things, as opposed to, in my opinion, where most children kind of play this innocent role, or they play this kind of, victim role or something. He was legitimately like defeating these two.
Now, have you heard the theory, or that there's a deleted scene out there that the jackass uncle, who like, oh, look what you did, you jerk, tipped off the burglars to rob the house so he could get his brother's money?
I hadn't heard that. No.
What?
Oh, really?
No.
Yeah. So that's how they knew the house was there, because the jerk uncle was like, here's my brother, will be gone at Christmas. He's got lots of money. You can come score.
So there was a comment. There was a comment in the chat that said that he could have called the cops at any time, which technically is true. Did I freeze? No, technically is true. But if you think about it, he thought that he was the reason why they were gone. He made a wish and then they disappeared.
Yeah.
So, if you have that guilt on you, well, after he has a little bit of fun with it, but if you have that guilt on you, you don't call the cops and say, hey, I wished my parents away. You freak out a little. Eat some ice cream, shave. Yeah.
Also, it's
what
a movie.
kind of movie would it have been if he just called the cops?
22-minute Christmas special.
Short one.
Yeah.
Cops are never there when you want them to be, so maybe...
Didn't
Special.
the Wet Bandits also disguise themselves as cops or something, and they were stopping the cops from coming? They were doing things as well. They were. I mean, of course, if you try to hammer plot holes in it, I think they'd be. But I at the time, I didn't feel any plot holes. I felt,
I mean,
because you want to go on the adventure. You're like, let's.
I think so. Yeah.
I mean, you said he wished his. I haven't seen the movie in a while, but he wished his family away. But didn't he know they were all going on vacation?
Yeah, but I think there was something there.
But he
made
had
him
sleep in the attic because his cousin went to bed.
Yeah.
And then so he was, and then the guy was. But when he slept in and woke up, everybody was gone. He wasn't there for everybody exiting. They were just gone.
Right.
So in his little brain, it's like they didn't go on vacation. They just wished.
I think because the cars were all still out there because they all got picked up in different cars.
Right, the shuttle vans.
When they were doing the head count, they counted the neighbor's kid, and they thought it was him.
Yeah.
No, that's right. Yeah.
Which is
So what do we prefer,
parenting,
sticky
by the
bandits or wet
The jerk
bandits?
uncle threw his plane ticket away.
It was a bunch of terrible things.
Spilled soda, and they were cleaning it up, and he grabbed the napkins, and the ticket was in there, and he throws it away, and they show it in the garbage.
Because that uncle is the real villain.
Yes.
Yep, I agree. Sorry, I was saying, do we have a preference over sticky bandits or wet bandits?
Ooh. I like the scene of like, look at Sticky Bandit, and he steals like $1.36. Like, it's fantastic.
Like just a couple of quarters, yeah.
Brilliant.
Todd's got another theory. So he turned. Also, theory is he turned into a shit. He turned into a shit. Okay, because loved to be alone and turned into a little killer who will push you out of a treehouse.
Oh, and that's that other movie that he was in, the Good Son or something like that.
Oh, The Good Son,
yeah.
Looks like Ken's filming a Coldplay video right now.
Sorry, you said the good Son with Elijah Wood as well, I think, right?
Yeah.
That movie creeped
Look
me.
at my toys. Look
This
what
is
I've got.
the second stream I've been on where we talked about a Macaulay Culkin movie. Last time we talked about My Girl.
True.
That's right.
Oh,
I don't think we can talk about My Girl right. Yeah, that's tough. That's tough, man.
that was a movie. I boo-hooed my little
Bridge.
eyes out at that movie.
Bridge to
Is Uncle
therapy.
Buck a
Yeah,
Christmas
just-
Hmm?
Uncle
What?
Buck? Is that a Christmas movie? It's definitely
Uncle
got
Buck.
snow. happening.
Does it take place during Christmas? It's cold.
I think
No,
it takes place
because
in the wintertime. I don't know if it
his
takes place.
parents wouldn't be away for Christmas. They wouldn't leave him with Uncle Buck for Christmas.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Great movie, though.
That was a good movie too. John
You
Candy,
should see the toast.
he was great.
I want a giant pancake.
Yeah.
Right?
Another one I don't think we brought up was Scrooged with Bill Murray.
Scrooge, great movie. Bill Murray.
Is Scrooge anyone's favorite Christmas movie? Because it's a bit rough to watch, eh?
I like it.
I think it when I was younger, I would watch it all the time, but I haven't seen it in a long time.
Specifically Scrooge, not Mickey's Christmas Carol.
Not Mickey's
No,
Christmas
Scrooge.
Carol.
Scrooge.
Bill Murray.
Specifically.
I like Bill Murray's Scrooged. My favorite Bill Murray movie is Groundhog Day, and I would have picked that as a Christmas movie if it were Christmas. It's not. It snows. And I was like, is it Christmas? That'd be perfect. But no.
I think my favorite Bill Murray movie is Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
Or
Ghostbusters
Stripes.
is second next to Groundhog Day. I can watch
Yeah.
Groundhog Day all the time because the good news is it doesn't have to change. It doesn't have
Yeah,
to change. You just
seems
stop it
like-
and come back to it any time.
When I was working at the music store, we would play on the screens Groundhog Day on repeat.
I think Todd's got a fetish.
Happens.
Oh, from
Oh, it's
yeah, from
Scrooge.
Mickey's
Yeah.
Christmas Carol, right?
Yeah, nobody brought that one up, did they?
The best Scrooge was the one with Patrick Stewart, but Patrick Stewart was Ebenezer Scrooge.
All right,
That
yeah,
was
yeah,
great.
yeah.
A fantastic one. Rough to watch, but a good movie.
I have a set of CDs which is like an audio play. Well, it's more like he's reading the story. It's Tom Baker, you know, who's
Oh, nice.
Doctor Who.
yeah,
Yeah.
and he does the whole thing himself, and that's fantastic.
That is pretty cool. I thought you were going to explain to us what a CD was then.
It's this new kind of record album. It somehow stores the sound like digitally or magically.
Magic.
It's
So
magic.
speaking of digitally, I'm going to send you one of these, a digital copy of Rock Lords, as well as the Rock Lord VHS. This one is not Rock Lords, but I will send you. This is what I have it on for when it comes to. This is called a thumb drive. Have you got something that'll plug into?
Get into your Atari.
Have you
Yeah,
guys
your Commodore.
Christmas Chronicles?
Christmas Chronicles is white hot. White hot.
Yeah, it's a great. And then Christmas Chronicles 2.
So my buddy was in a movie. He was like an extra. Was in a movie called Santa's Sleigh with Bill Goldberg.
Oh, right.
Bill Goldberg plays Santa and he murders people, so it's like Slay, like SLAY.
Yeah.
But there were some scenes where he was at like a biker bar, and so my buddy Rob kind of looks like a biker, but he also had like a very nice Harley Davidson bike. So they would pay him to be in the movie, but also rent his bike from him to be in the movie. And he's like, "Yeah, I was in the movie Santa's Sleigh. My bike made twice as much money as I did."
Has anybody seen the Mel Gibson film? I believe it's called Fat Man, where he actually plays Santa Claus.
No.
Somebody devises a plan to kill him because they didn't get what they wanted when they were a kid.
I don't.
Wow.
No.
I haven't seen much post 2010 Mel Gibson stuff.
Yeah.
It's actually pretty good.
I'll check it out.
The Santa
It's a
Claus.
recommendation by Gaz. I will do it.
And then there's Santa Claus 2. Aren't they up to Santa Claus 4 now?
Well,
They
now
got a
it's
TV
Santa
show on
Claus.
Disney Plus.
That
Yeah.
is.
What was the Dudley Moore one from the 80s? Was that called Claus?
Oh.
Was that called
was that
Claus?
one?
Where he plays the elf that like gets like pissed off and he gets hired by John Lithgow to work for a giant toy company.
Yeah.
And he tries to
Oh.
they take over Christmas.
Man,
Oh,
Dudley Moore. He
that's
was
Memory
comedic.
Unlocked.
John Lithgow is so good. In general, I don't know about that film.
I think it's called Claus.
He plays good guys, bad guys.
Yeah.
He's so good. Yeah.
Yep.
Santa
We're
Claus
talking about
movie,
Dudley Moore or
yeah.
John Lithgow? Sorry, what?
The
Right?
Dudley Moore with Santa Claus the movie.
Oh, Santa Claus the movie.
Okay.
There's a movie that came out recently on Netflix called Claus, just Klaus, and that was actually a really
Yeah. I saw
I
that
don't
one. That was
that
all right.
movie.
The other one I'm trying to remember is the one with this guy, and he's in How I Met Your Mother, Patrick, whatever. his
Neil
name is.
Patrick Harris.
Neil
Yeah,
Patrick
that
Harris.
guy, and he's looking for gifts for his kid or something like that.
White Castle.
Harold and
It's the White
Kumar.
Castle one.
I'll find
There
it.
was,
So
there was
Claus makes me mad.
oh,
And I
The Claus.
can't watch it because in the very beginning they have a character who looks just like my dad. I think they even call him Sarge. He's got a scruffy voice. They totally ripped off my dad in that movie.
In which movie?
Claus. Klaus.
But isn't imitation the best form of flattery?
Not when you're not getting paid for it.
I'm going to remove my slaughterhouse banner and logos and all that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, here I am representing, and it's like, you know.
So you guys, you've seen the movie that's currently in the theater, Silent Night, I think it's called.
Oh,
is that a
yeah.
scary one?
Oh,
You
is
seen
it
the
Violent Night.
Violent Night?
Is it Violent Night? Is that what it's called?
Yeah. I want to see that. That looks pretty good.
The little kid asks Santa Claus for help, and he takes out all the. That looks good.
Wilhelm, you have a great night, my friend. Merry Christmas.
Take care. Thanks for sticking with us all throughout.
Well,
Merry Christmas.
in the spirit of Christmas movies, the town that my church is in is a very, very small little town, and it's quite pretty and picturesque. And so, like the Hallmark level Christmas movies that are filmed and just pumped out, there's a crew and a company that uses this town a lot because it looks very picturesque. And so they actually rent out our church parking lot to have like their trailer camp in and use our basement as the makeup room and whatnot. And my good friend, she owns a cafe downtown, and she's like, I'm just waiting for when there's a Hallmark movie for the male lead to walk into my cafe and just fall in love with the cafe owner of the small town. So we're really pulling for a Hallmark cast to become a Hallmark reality is what we're hoping for.
Real life Hallmark movie.
Exactly.
That's the thing about Hallmark movies is you always know like it's going to be a good feel good movie, you know, and you know like the first scene you're like, oh yeah, so she's going to fall in love with him. There's going to be something that happens where they almost break up, but then they get back together, and then it's like happy ever after at the end, right? She's going to leave her nasty boyfriend or fiance or whatever for this guy with the flannel on. Yeah.
You nailed it. Family business.
Yeah.
French Kiss with Meg Ryan would be like that for me. I love that movie.
Oh, is that the one where she
Goes to France.
and like stalks her boyfriend?
Yeah.
Yeah, and the new girlfriend.
Yeah.
With who's the guy? Who's the other guy that they end up falling in love?
I know. I can't remember his name, but they had him with a big mustache. He's actually a really handsome guy.
Sergeant Slaughter. Buddy. I also just watched the 1985 TV special Babes in Toyland starring
Kevin
Keanu
Kline
Reeves and Drew Barrymore.
Oh man.
Do not recommend. Do not recommend.
I'm sure it's awful.
On paper, it sounds great. It is not.
Yeah.
It's Kevin Kline.
Kevin Kline.
Yeah, Kevin Kline, Meg Ryan, and Jean Reno, who played a police officer again.
What's the Nicolas Cage? Sorry, I'm looking at Dale Santaford's comment. What's the Nicolas Cage Christmas movie?
Con Air 2, Christmas is Coming.
Okay, so not Face Off.
No, everybody gets a bunny, and they're all in boxes.
When you say Face Off, you got to do the Face Off thing. You can't just say Face Off. No,
The Family Man.
Do it, Adam, do it again, please. Do it again. Face Off. Take my face off.
Take his face
off.
Nicolas Cage was the best Superman.
What?
Could have
Get
been.
out of here.
Could have been.
Nicolas Cage was Superman?
No, don't do
Almost
that.
was.
Don't
One
do
is
that,
close to
Mike.
being Superman.
He just
After,
put on a
after Tim Burton did the Batman films, Warner Brothers hired him to make a Superman film, and then the
no.
whole thing fell through. It's an epic story of how a film doesn't get made.
Ken, it's The Family Man. I remember that movie.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So really not Face Off.
No, it's definitely not Face Off. I remember
Face Off
Face
is a good
Off.
movie, right? I'm just messing.
Face Off was with John Travolta, right?
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
They became each other, right? So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
The best thing about Face Off is when they're in the big prison, and they have those magnet boots that get stuck to the floor.
Yeah.
It's just the same boots from the Super Mario Brothers movie because they just have those props available, so they put them on Nick Cage. But it's just the super jump boots from that movie.
Sorry. Yeah. It's a 1997 film. For some reason, I thought it was an 80s film. I wanted to be like, hey, Gaz, another 80s film I have seen. But every time that happens to me, it ends up being a 90s film. Anyway.
Millennial.
No, don't, no cursing in this chat. No cursing here.
80s
Says
movie, Face Off. Please.
Yeah, fuck that.
Now,
Yeah.
watch that movie. I watched the movie. I like it. John Woo movies are great, but it's like I've seen all the stunts because I've seen Hard Boiled. I've seen The Killer. And those movies and everything he does in his American movies are the same from those movies.
But even his American movies, if you watch the final fight, the final showdown between Cage and Travolta in Face Off, and you watch the final showdown between Van Damme and in Hard Target, Lance Henriksen.
Yeah, it's
like shot for shot identical.
I think
Space Commander's falling asleep on his chair there.
I think he's might have.
Is it 6 a.m. yet there?
Look at there's.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah, that's
he was doing work.
No.
Whoa.
Oh wow.
God, man, it looks worse than Dean Cain.
That is
Yikes.
This has got to be like 1993 when he came back after his death in the comics and had the longer hair.
Yeah.
Was that when they was that when they were trying to?
Sorry,
No,
but
it was
terrible.
it was late 90s. It was late 90s. So I remember
they were going to kill him and bring him back in the movie.
Yeah,
And
the
his
Dean
black
Cain
suit
suit
was
was on
like
at the time.
reflective hologram.
Yeah, basically like
That
a comic.
That
book.
hologram suit looked really cool because it was all practical effects. There was no CGI.
No, it was a cool suit for somebody who wasn't Superman.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Somebody who's not Nick Cage.
Oof.
Sorry.
He could be the voice of Superman animated or something. but
He did,
definitely
yeah.
not actually.
Yeah, in
Teen Titans Go to the Movies.
Yeah.
Are you
I took
kidding?
my nephews to see
who
that at the
was it?
pictures. It was great.
Who was it that voiced Superman in the animated series?
Tim Daly.
The Justice League.
Tim Daly. Yeah,
Tim
his
Daly.
son apparently his son is voicing Superman in an animated movie. They put out a video on YouTube with him, Dean Cain, and what's his name, Brandon Roth, welcoming his son into the Superman family.
Nice.
That's cool.
So which one's Superboy?
I don't know. Well, that'd be well.
Should we wrap up Streamathon then? Let Poor Space Commander get some sleep.
Yeah.
I wanted to see how late we could keep him up. I was like,
Yeah,
we
well,
make
we
it
should
to
just
6
fall
a.m.
asleep
We make it
here.
to 6 a.m. UK time.
Space Commander, I love the fact that you stuck around for every single episode of Streamathon.
Just a legend over there.
Yeah.
That's because the Space Commander has a lot of love to give.
Yeah.
Buddy. We love you too, mate.
Receive it. Thank you.
It's not an understatement to say that Space Commander's out of this world.
And on that note,
That was good.
you folks are the best. I gotta say,
I'm very
every single one of you.
that, so Zazel and I are actually, today is our 1 year anniversary where it all began. He asked me to be on his podcast or on his channel a year ago, today, yesterday, something like that.
Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
I was there for
Look
that one
back when I
actually.
couldn't
That's
pronounce
awesome.
your name.
We've corrected it since then.
Yeah.
It feels like I feel like a year's gone quickly, but and I say this for each and every one of you, where it feels like I've known you all for so long that to say that it's been a year, it feels both like a short amount of time and a long amount of time, all in the same breath, basically.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been a fun and wild ride, and we'll definitely keep doing this. Before, obviously, the next Streamathon, it's going to be me getting my ass kicked by Kelly,
Yep.
which is going to be, 6 months from now. That's going to be very close.
Streamathon Joe
Got
Fest.
some time to get into shape.
I'm a shape now, but it's just not the shape I want. I had somebody I worked with said to me, because I was like, okay, I got to get into shape because I'm going to go to Joe Fest. And they turned around and said, well, yeah, you used to be thin. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
just proves that I can do it again.
Ouch. So I will say that the conversation we're having at my home right now is, will I be going to Joe Fest alone, or will I be bringing my wife with me? So it looks like
Oh, wow.
Joe Fest is happening in the Hodgkinsville house.
So you're coming. We get to see you in person.
100%.
Oh, it's gonna be
It's gonna be
great.
It's
Awesome.
gonna be the greatest Joe Fest ever.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'll
Can't
say.
wait. It's going to be great.
I said to my wife,
Everyone that comes around
I think this is happening. And I said, we're going to go. And she goes, well, if I come, we can go geocaching as well. So I don't know what that means, how much geocaching we're going to do.
You never know.
I might not even be able to walk by the time we get there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, what was that, Kelly?
I said you can always take a little extra time, come in early, stay a little late, do your geocaching.
Get the caching done and buy all the GI Joes.
Yes.
We can do some squatching.
Yeah.
Okay. Squatchathon is happening at Joe Fest.
There you go.
Done.
I will be there as the Baroness.
I will be there as a squatch.
Hans looks confused.
I don't know. I'm actually wondering what time it is in Japan.
Time to go.
Oh, it's early. It's early.
I'm an hour behind Zay. It's almost 3 in the afternoon.
Oh,
Yeah,
you
it's almost
were
4
live
now.
then. Now you
Yeah.
good.
It is 1:00 here in Ontario, and I'm gonna drive home from my office and then sleep and then come back to my office for 6:00. So it's gonna be great.
Oh my goodness. All right.
Thanks for hanging out, everyone.
Thank
Merry
you,
Christmas,
everybody.
everyone.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, guys. You are literally the best.
Burn
Best of
some
the best.
rubber and eat my dust. Merry Christmas.
Everybody thumb kiss, even though I haven't seen the movie.
Jerk. You jerk.
Bye.
Listen up, Megan. Welcome to the
Slaughter Daughter the bad.
Sorry, wrong one.
Slaughter Daughter the badass bitch. As you were.